How's it going? What is the crack? Things haven't been the same. I'm so glad that you're back. I can't believe it's been so long. Remember how we used to sing along to that old song? It's a real pleasure to be here with you, Evelyn, and I want to wish you all the best with your beautiful second book, Effortless. I really thoroughly enjoyed reading it, as I did the first book. To say that you're the sum of the people that you hang around with.
Oh, thank you very much, Justin. God, isn't it great? I'm just sitting here looking at everybody on the screen. I'm going to pass you over now to Jeffrey Olsen, who's joining us all the way from the USA. So, Jeffrey, I have never met you, but I feel like I know you from everything that Evelyn has told me about you.
I must say it's only appropriate to honor the launch of Effortless and this beautiful, beautiful book that Miss McAleer has put out there for all of us. I love the title, I love the content, and I was so honored to write the foreword of the book. But this is so lovely to be here and see you. It's almost as if I'm in Ireland. I appropriately put the Northern Lights green background just in honor of the country and all of you there. But when it comes to Effortless, I wanted to talk about that a little bit. As many of you know, I'm an author, speaker. I had a near-death experience, which is what springboarded that. I never had any inclinations to write a book. I didn't fancy myself a writer, and yet what happened in the experience was something that I was very tight-lipped about for many years. But eventually Spirit spoke, and I stepped forward and shared my experience. And I just want to touch on that, because for me, writing a book is not effortless at all. I get the spirit of effortless, but I want to acknowledge the hard work and the heart and the tears and the struggle and the late nights and the editing that goes into creating a masterpiece like Evelyn has in this book, and the content and the way it flowed and just brought wisdom. There was so much wisdom in the words. And, you know, it's interesting that the book comes out not only on a Good Friday, but a Great Friday. And as we're in the middle of a pandemic worldwide, you know, never before have I seen the entire world pull together. You know, we're separated, we're quarantined, we're having to stand 6 feet apart in the United States, even if we go out of the house. And yet I've never felt more connected. I've never felt more close. I've never felt more longing to be with the people I love, and to be with you even on a Zoom call. And I love the technology. Thank you, Paddy, for putting this together and managing the technology. Isn't it a miracle that really quite effortlessly we're scattered all over the world in different time zones, and yet here we are gathered together to share in this great event and the launch of this beautiful book. And Evelyn, you look magnificent, my dear. Just, I'm glad I put on the black tie simply so I could even stand in the shadow of that dress and the stunning way you've showed up for all of us tonight. It's beautiful. In this pandemic and the way we can get through this effortlessly, I've often drawn from the pages, even in the last few days and weeks. We not only had the crash of the stock market here in the US, we also then had the COVID-19 pandemic hit. And gosh, I believe the day I was meant to be in Ireland, we had an earthquake. The whole house shook. And, you know, I never get too concerned, but I'll admit the earthquake scared me a little bit. And I thought about Effortless, you know, that everything is meant to be, that everything is in perfect divine order. And I can either thrash on the water and sink, or I can gracefully walk on the water, even in the tumultuous storm. And I wanted to share my gratitude, Evelyn, for what you've shared in these pages, for how we can draw on that often in our lives when it seems to be tumultuous, when there seems to be storms, when we're in panic and we have pandemics. We can simply take a step back and remember who we are. And you've been a shining light to show who we are, to manifest who we are, to literally be a manifestation of all that's divine and remember that everything is for a reason and that there's beauty in all of it. There's beauty in all of it. I already mentioned the way that we're connecting because of our separation, because of this, this virus. Also the way our bodies react. I mean, here in the US, people are getting the virus. I don't want to make light of it. People have died from the virus, but over 80% of the people who get it recover. Their bodies react, their bodies fight it off. And as we keep our systems healthy, as we keep our immune systems healthy, we have a walking miracle in the bodies we're all in. And also we have a walking miracle in the souls that partner with and inhabit those bodies. And that's what I think Effortless does such a beautiful job of, is it's touching on the magnificence of our soul, regardless of what our bodies look like, regardless of how we get around. The accident I was in, I lost my left leg above the knee. I walk with a funny limp, and I often think, wow, I'm just getting old and broken. But I know that my soul is eternal, and I know that my soul is divine. And that's what Evelyn is so, gloriously and glamorously brought to light, is that we are eternal souls in this notion of our vibration, the way we carry ourselves, the way we put things out to the universe, and the way we graciously go about taking committed action. Those things manifest in our lives, even like tonight. Here we are, and I'm looking now, there's over 50 people that have taken the time to come and honor this launch. And that's no small matter. And I know that I can speak for every one of us when we say congratulations on the launch of a beautiful book. Congratulations on the launch of a beautiful life. You know, your life is your sermon. Your life is the most beautiful book you'll ever write. And to me, Effortless, simply portrayed in the pages, the life you live and the being you are. I want to join everyone in a big hand. We can just clap and give you hands on the thing for the glorious, glorious launch of this beautiful book. I look forward to being in Ireland someday and meet you all face to face. And Evelyn, to give you a big hug when we don't have to be 6 feet apart, and congratulate you on what you're doing in the world to bring so much light, so much hope, so much wisdom to so many of us. Thank you very, very much.
And just you're mentioning the word togetherness, and you know, the fact that we're all one, and it's just beautiful here watching the screen and seeing everybody coming on. So for that, I'm very, very grateful.
Well, again, first of all, congratulations to Evelyn on an amazing book, and her second book, well done for writing it. And I would have time to read the whole book if you're in a hurry. You'll get the essence of it all in one great chapter. It's called Declan. So well, read that chapter. And, you know, when you think, once upon a time you're writing books, but people said to me, you're really past it when you end up as a chapter in a book. So Evelyn, that was an amazing chapter. And going back to the essence of it, it's that what I said in your introduction to your first book was that you're somebody who's, dare I say, ordinary. You connect with the rest of us. You're a mother, you have 3 children, you do your groceries, you do your dance classes. You haven't spent 40 years in a monastery in Tibet or 60 years in a Carmelite monastery in Spain. You're living in Tyrone, the same kind of a life as the rest of us, and yet you're a modern mystic. You have a mystic's heart and a mystic's soul. And when you look at, you know, the idea of the divine within us, I'm careful enough about mentioning God because we have this, when Christianity started, we had the old concept of God was Zeus in the Greeks. Zeus was the angry God who hurled down thunderbolts at us. And we start with Christianity, and we didn't have the paradigm shift to a new God. We still had the same old Zeus that we just changed the Z or the Z to a D and called him Deus, the white man in the sky who was always pretty angry with us. But Evelyn, you've shown us another concept of God, of the divine. It's that the divine is inside of us all. It's that life force, that élan vital that's in all of us, that's pure love, pure consciousness, pure gratitude, caring, sharing. That's the God you've shown us. And it's that when we connect with that God, then things become effortless. Anything we do in life, we do ultimately to feel good. We do it to be happy. I want to manifest a new car. No, you don't want to manifest a new car. You want to manifest the feeling that the car will give you, that great feeling. I want to get a new man or a new woman or whatever it is. Like Mae West used to get up every morning, she'd stretch and she'd say, God, I feel like a new man today. But whatever we're looking for, it's the feeling that it gives us that we're looking for. So what Evelyn has done is just taken us out of that virus that's called when then. When I get this, that, and the other, then I'll be happy. No, she's telling us, be happy now, have good feelings now. And then the rest will come magnetically. You'll get a vibrational match to what, because you don't attract what you want, you always attract what you are. And Evelyn brings us back inside to this place of inner peace, of joy, of like the great carpenter poet of Galilee said 2,000 years ago, I want my joy to be in you and your joy to be full. He said, I am the light of the world. And that was fine. And we could understand that. But then he turned it right around and he said, no, you are the light of the world. And when I look at Evelyn, I see those words, you are the light of our world, Evelyn, because you speak from a place within you where that divine lives. And once we get that connection, we feel good now, then all the other good stuff will come to us, will be manifested, and you show that in story after story. So we could be tempted now to say, oh, when this pandemic is over, then I'll get my life back, then I'll start living. When then? But Evelyn reminds us, no, it's now. We get a life now. Like as Jeffery said, even though we're so separated, we're never more connected. And at the end, of that chapter, I remember finishing that workshop in the Tara Centre in Oma, and I was seeing red platform negative, green platform positive. Every day we have a choice. And the choice is to be a hostage to our ego on the red platform, and to live with all that mental noise and all those crazy stories in our head, or to shut down that mental noise, to quiet ourselves and be a host to who we really are, to be a host to God on the green platform. And once we get into that space, then the effortless happens. It's like we put our boat into a river. Instead of wasting our time rowing upriver, we realize it's much easier to let the current carry us downriver and go with the flow. It's the same thing when, like, the essence of the book is that I could sum it up. And do you ever try to remember a name and you try and you can't get it? Then you relax, you let go, you release, and effortlessly the name comes to you. That's what Effortless is about. It's about a way of living that's effortless, that's about joy, that's about inner peace, that's about happiness. And once we get that, we radiate it to others and we attract more of it into our lives. So Evelyn, warmest congratulations, a great achievement, and you're an absolute, I was going to say master teacher. Is there such a word as a mistress teacher to us all? Continued success and congratulations.
Our next speaker is Dr. Jeff O'Driscoll, author of Not Yet.
I'm so happy for you, Evelyn. This is a great day. Thank you for inviting us all. Thank you to Justin for the music. Hopefully we'll get to hear another song from him before the end of this. And thank you, Declan and Paddy and Jeff as well for the things you've shared so far. I loved writing a little bit for the back cover of your book, Evelyn. I loved reading your book and the messages you shared. Effortless is a powerful thing. Learning to function in an effortless way sometimes takes some practice, but it's powerful when we do it. I used to think living in the now was cliche. I thought, yeah, that's something people talk about, but it really doesn't mean anything. And then one day I realized we can remember spiritual experiences in our past, and we can anticipate spiritual experiences in our future, but we can only live them in the now. We can only experience spirit. We can only experience the divine in the now. And I do a lot of personal mentoring with people. In addition to speaking and my books and other things, I do some one-on-one mentoring with people. And frequently they come to me and feel like they've never had a profoundly spiritual experience, never really connected with who they are. And they ask me for help with that. And one of the things people tell me often is that sometimes they feel like the messages they get are in their own voice, and they can't distinguish between their own voice and the divine voice. And what I try to help people realize is if you conclude that the voice you're hearing is your own, it's still divine, because you're divine. In fact, I was getting ready to go speak to a large group of people once a while back, and I was trying to center and connect and get the message that I was supposed to share. And it came to me in a very profound and direct way. And it's the message that I have up behind me. You are enough, you are divine, and you are loved. If we can remember those three things, then we can live in a much more effortless way. I was trying to get a message for myself not so long ago. I was trying to be centered and connected and find out what I was supposed to do. And the message came to me very clearly, very directly, and said, you need to learn to love yourself. That's why you're here. And, you know, most people kind of get that notion. Evelyn gets it better than most. She personifies it. And many religious traditions embrace this notion of loving yourself, but we tend to always want to love ourselves in the future. We want to love ourselves when we've accomplished some great thing, when we've lost some weight, when we're in better shape, when we've written our book. That's when we'll start loving ourselves. But if you think about it, when we get divine direction, it's incumbent upon us to engage it now, in the present. And the only way we can love ourselves in the present is to love ourselves as we are. That's the only version of us that exists today. That's the only person we can love today, is the one that exists now as we are. So yes, it's good to have goals. Yes, we can work toward things. But what really changes us, what brings us into our own divine nature, what enables us to live an effortless life, and the example that Evelyn's shown us, is to learn to love ourselves as we are today. So I'm just so delighted to be with you, Evelyn. Thank you for organizing this event, and thank you for letting me share a few thoughts, and for writing a small note on the back cover. Bless you.
Hey, thank you, Dr. Jeff. You are enough. You are divine. You are loved. Beautiful. In the spirit of manifesting, let's all manifest somebody to sing towards the end of towards the end of this evening. So between every single one of us, let's manifest that either Justin comes back on, or someone in the group is going to come on with a guitar or just to sing. Okay, so next I'm going to call on Mark McCloskey from Success Mindset.
Be here, pleasure. Love to see you all, and massive, as we've all been saying, massive congrats to Evelyn on her second book. Amazing book in so many ways. It was an honor, really was an honor for Evelyn to ask me to do a quote in it and be part of the book. Little chapter that I was doing for Evelyn. I have to say the book is beautifully written, so simplistic, even in the topic of when you get into like quantum physics, and it's not all about quantum physics, that chapter, but there's quantum physics mentioned in it, as Evelyn mentions. It's the crossover, and she delved into that world. There's this infinite source of energy, and this is where the correlation came in. It's energy. Everything in the universe is energy. As you will read in the book, if you haven't read yet, Evelyn has put all this in such a simplistic, beautiful way that's easy to digest and understand. So I'll just leave it to what's in the book. Evelyn, you've done an amazing job to explain how science and spirituality are completely one and the same thing.
Thank you, Pauline. I was singing the way there. Thank you so much.
There's manifesting in action. Less than what, 5 minutes. We asked for someone to sing a song, and boom. That's how simple this manifesting stuff is. It's really interesting. Everyone's talking about energy tonight, and vibrations. And I can see it watching people's faces. You can see the beautiful energy that people have around them this evening. And no better way to lift our energy and lift our spirits than to listen to music. So thank you very much, Pauline and Justin, for helping lift our energy. So next I'm going to pass over to my very good friend, Evelyn. What can I say about Evelyn that I haven't said already?
That you're allowed to say.
Yeah, that I'm allowed to say. Evelyn definitely brings joy. She brings happiness, and she brings plenty of laughter and crack and banter to my life on a daily basis. So, without further ado, I'll pass you all over to the beautiful Evelyn McAleer.
Thank you very much, Patrick. I have to say, I've actually loved this tonight. I'll have a glass of wine on me at this stage. Paddy, first and foremost, thank you so much. Honest to God, how me and Paddy met, and Paddy was in the first book, was a time that I wasn't feeling that great in my own life, and I went to an event on my birthday by myself, and I met up with his fine self, and the two of us had so much in common. All the goodness and all the badness, and it was a great combination. But he has always been there, and he is an absolutely wonderful person with the biggest heart, always giving, just wants to help people, and has a wonderful purpose. And thank you so much, Paddy, for everything. For you have done this tonight. I only had to show up, and you have organised and put this all together effortlessly. So thank you so much. To Jeffery Olsen, thank you so much, sir, for showing up in your finery and your dicky bow, and you looking so well. And I cannot wait till I get to meet yourself and Dr. Jeff, that you are here, will be here, and you will be here when the time is right. And it's going to be super and very special. So I've always felt a connection about Tamra, and actually every time I get emotional every time I think about Tamra, and I know that your journey to Ireland is going to happen when the time is right. Mr. Declancoyle, I'm back up to you. I don't want to get all emotional in this. All these men, all these great men in my life. Declancoyle, he is, how do I speak about Declancoyle without getting emotional too? I think I talk about you all the time. Everywhere I'm at, Declancoyle's name always comes up. And but we have the crack as well. Declan brings out the good in me and the devilment in me as well. He's full of badness, But a man that helped too, that had a huge impact on my life and where it changed. And the bond, and even though people would say, like, how could you be friends with somebody with a huge age difference? The man was a priest, you're a divorcee. You know how when souls, when spirit, when energy is to connect, it just connects. There is no effort, there is no force in anything. It all happens. So Declancoyle, I will always praise you, I always thank you, and I always full of love for everything that you do for me, and the support and the guidance that you're always there for me. For Dr. Jeff, thank you so much. Again, a gem of a man that has, you have done everything that you could possibly, anytime I have asked anything of you, you've always done it hand and heart. And I know that night that myself and you had an interview, and you said the same words tonight. You said that you are enough. You know, when I heard those, it was like a blessing, you know, from yourself and what you have experienced and witnessed throughout your life, the effortless flow of spirit that enters this realm and leaves this realm, and how you explain it with ease, that it's just, you said one time that while we mourn here in this for the departure of a soul, there's celebration on the other side of the veil. And when spirit enters this realm here, there's mourning on the other side of the veil, and we celebrate life. So everything is one. It's just a revolving thing of energy, just regurgitate and come and manifest and come back into form. And I always say thank you to people like yourself that stand up, because you have come, you're in a profession, a doctor, and to the fear that would be in someone, especially be in that profession, this is what I see, this is what I experience, to be able to stand into your truth and to have no fear around that. And now you go out and you, as you say, help, assist, help souls heal. I hope I have got that correct, Jeff. But, and I say thank you so much for the blessings that I have for yourself in my life as well. Thank you so much for, it was within days that it was a quick phone call. Mark, will you do it? Mark done it. You know, there's no effort required. It was effortless flow as well. And I've watched your work as you have progressed over the years, and you work with Joe Dispenza now. Joe Dispenza, Declancoyle speaks quite a lot about Joe's work. We talk about Joe as if we know Joe, but you know, but you have progressed so much in yourself and have had the belief to stand up and stand out and to say, look, this is what it is. We're all energy. Everything is connected. And it's entirely up to people what you choose to believe within yourself. And you have created your own path, and you have had that belief and stood out. And when people are afraid to say and speak on certain things. But I thank you again, Mark, for your contribution to the book, and to help me, as we said earlier on, to marry the two, the spirituality aspect and the quantum physics aspect, to know that it's all the same. It's just words. We're just placing words. So everybody that's here on this Zoom, because I'm flipping screens, I'm looking at you, Tracy Cassidy. I see you straight ahead of me. I see you know Keith, and I see Noel, and I see John, and I see Noel, and Dermot, and Marie, and Erin Rose. That's who I can see on this screen now until I start flicking through. But to everybody that is on here tonight, I thank you so much for giving me your time, for sharing your time with me tonight and with us all. I see this for everybody, that all doors is open. Everything is lying wide open at this stage. And what we choose to step forth and bring into our lives, are you prepared? Are you ready now to step through that door? It's there. If you feel something, if you believe it to be your truth, let go of them fears, step into your truth, awaken to what you are, and help others to awaken by what you can bring to each and every one in this life. My daughter, for I can see you there, for helping me again with this. This is my two nieces. This is Rasha and Lara. Girls, talk into the phone.
Hello.
And there's my brother Gary. Come forth and say hello. Go on.
Hello, everybody.
Tell them how much you love me. That's what you're meant to say.
I really, really love you right now.
So, Paddy, that's me done talking. I want to say thank you so much. Honest to God, it's meant the world to me for everybody being here tonight. And And I think Colin is going to finish us off with the song.
Thank you, Evelyn, for being my friend and for brightening up my days every day. Thank you, Justin, for singing for us. Pauline for playing the tin whistle. The two Jeffs, declancoyle, and Mark for coming on and talking. And also Declan Dowling, who very kindly put a call into me today to help me out with organising the Zoom.
All right, we'll just also want to congratulate Evelyn on her second book. Very well done. And thanks a million for putting me in the spot for singing this song. I was trying to think what I'd sing. And I wanted to do something sort of a wee bit of hope and one thing in this time, in this particular time. But the problem is, as the poet once said, the great Gaels of Ireland were the people God made mad. For all their wars were merry and all their songs were sad. So I had to struggle to find a song that I thought would do, but what I will do is it's a song called Will You Go, Lassie Go, and it talks about the summertime is coming and better days coming. Oh, the summertime is coming, and the trees are sweetly blooming, and the wild mountain thyme grows around the blooming heather. Will you go, lassie, go? And we'll all go together to pluck wild mountain thyme all around the blooming heather. Will you go, lassie, go? I will build my love a tower near yon pure crystal fountain, and upon it I will place all the flowers of the mountain. Will you go, lassie, go? And we'll all go together to pluck wild mountain thyme all around the blooming heather. Will you go, lassie, go? If my true love she were gone, I would surely find another to pluck wild mountain thyme all around the blooming heather. Will you go, lassie, go? And we'll all go together to pluck wild mountain thyme all around the blooming heather. Will you go, lassie, go? One more time now together. And we'll all go together to pluck wild mountain thyme all around the blooming heather. Will you go, lassie, go? Well.
Thank you very much, Gildernew. My good Colin. That was powerful. Thank you. A wonderful way to end the night. Thank you so much. Give me the clap. Class is empty. Yes. You're looking lovely, Kay. Now I can see people. And see us all. Lovely. Thanks. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Now we're noisy.
Evelyn, I was going to ask, we could end up with saying a course of come on Evelyn instead of come on I.
Yeah, very good idea. 1, 2, 3, go.
No. All I wanted to say is that you have got it all. You've got the glamour, the wit, the fun, the depth, just everything. And thank you so much for a lovely, lovely evening, everybody. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you, Noelle. Thank you, Noelle.
Here, here. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so that's us. Time to leave the party. Go and have a wee drink, and thank you all again so much. Thank you so much.
Congratulations, Evelyn. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.